It's Wednesday, the 29th of January 2025. Welcome to the 117th edition of the Aurea Newsletter series. In our series today, we shall discuss the cultivation, harvesting, processing, domestic sales, and export of grapes in Nigeria, challenges, opportunities, and international best practices. Before we get started, we would like to take a moment to welcome you to this channel. If you are visiting us for the first time, please subscribe, like and share this video and help us grow our family. If you have already subscribed, then show your support by liking the video and making a comment. Now let's dive in. Opening Purview. This series examines the cultivation, harvesting, processing, domestic sales, and export of grapes in Nigeria. It provides an overview of the history and development of grape farming in Nigeria, reviews international best practices for grape cultivation, and identifies the challenges and opportunities faced by Nigerian farmers in improving the local grape market and building a sustainable export industry. The series also discusses how the agricultural sector, particularly grape farming, can contribute to Nigeria's economic diversification and rural development. Introduction. Grape farming is a significant agricultural activity in many parts of the world, with diverse uses ranging from fresh fruit to wine production, and in some cases, for processing into products like raisins, juice, and vinegar. In Nigeria, the cultivation of grapes has gained attention in recent years, primarily due to increasing local demand for fresh fruits, as well as the potential for export growth. While the industry is still in its early stages of development, its prospects are promising if appropriate strategies for cultivation, processing, and market expansion are implemented. Antecedents of grape cultivation in Nigeria. Historically, grape cultivation in Nigeria has not been widespread, particularly when compared to crops like cassava, yams, or maize. However, with growing interest in high-value fruit crops and changes in consumer behavior towards healthier eating habits, grape farming has begun to gain attention. The introduction of grape farming can be traced back to a few pioneering farmers in areas with favorable climatic conditions, such as the northern and central regions of the country. The major grape-growing areas in Nigeria include parts of the Middle Belt, Benue, Plateau, the North, Kaduna, Kano, and some southern regions with controlled environments like Oyo and Ogun states. As the demand for grapes increased, especially in urban markets like Lagos, there was a growing recognition of the need to improve both the production and processing of grapes.
International best practices for cultivation, harvesting, and processing of grapes. To foster the growth of the grape industry in Nigeria, it is essential to consider global standards and best practices in grape farming. These include the following. Cultivation best practices. Climate requirements. Grapes require a temperate climate for optimal growth. In regions with hot, dry summers and mild, wet winters, grapes thrive. In Nigeria, the northern regions with arid or semi-arid conditions are ideal for certain grape varieties, while irrigation systems can be implemented in more humid zones. Soil conditions. Grapes prefer well-drained, fertile soils with a slightly acidic pH. It is recommended that farmers perform soil tests before planting and amend the soil based on the results. Variety selection. There are numerous grape varieties suitable for different purposes: table grapes, wine grapes, and dried grapes. Nigerian farmers must focus on varieties that are suitable for their local climate and market demand. Some popular varieties for the Nigerian market include Thompson seedless and Crimson seedless. Sustainable farming techniques. Adoption of organic and sustainable farming practices such as crop rotation, use of organic fertilizers, and pest management is essential. Integrated pest management, IPM, is an example of a practice widely used globally to ensure minimal environmental impact. Harvesting best practices. Timing of harvest. Grapes must be harvested at the right time to ensure optimal taste and quality. Overripe grapes are not suitable for sale or processing, and underripe ones lack flavor. Harvesting should be done when the grapes are firm, fully ripe, and have the correct sugar-acid balance. Handling and packaging. Grapes are sensitive to bruising, so careful handling during harvesting is necessary. Harvesting should be done in the early morning or late afternoon to avoid heat stress on the fruit. Proper packaging is essential to maintain freshness, typically using vented crates to allow airflow and reduce moisture accumulation. Processing best practices. Post-harvest handling. After harvesting, grapes should be cooled rapidly to maintain their shelf life. Washing and sorting should be done with care to avoid damage. Cold storage is essential for extending the freshness of grapes, particularly for export. Value-added processing. Grapes in Nigeria can be processed into products such as raisins, grape juice, and wine. This requires specialized equipment and facilities to ensure quality. In regions where wine production is viable, establishing wineries could be an avenue for growth in the grape sector.
Challenges faced by farmers in increasing domestic sales and export potential. The grape industry in Nigeria faces several challenges in its development, including climate and environmental challenges. Erratic weather patterns. Nigeria is prone to climatic variations, including droughts and floods, which can affect the consistency of grape production. Farmers may need to invest in irrigation systems and weather-resistant grape varieties to mitigate these challenges. Pests and diseases. Grapes are susceptible to pests such as the grapevine moth, as well as diseases like mildew and rot. There is a need for greater adoption of integrated pest management practices. Lack of infrastructure. Post-harvest losses. A significant percentage of harvested grapes are lost due to inadequate storage facilities, poor transport networks, and lack of refrigeration. Improved infrastructure, including cold storage units and transportation networks, is critical to reducing these losses. Processing facilities. There are limited processing facilities for grapes in Nigeria, particularly for products like wine or dried grapes. Establishing grape processing units would allow farmers to diversify their revenue sources and reduce waste. Market access and export challenges. Access to international markets. Nigerian farmers face barriers when it comes to meeting international export standards, such as global GAP, Good Agricultural Practices, certification. Exporting grapes to markets in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia requires rigorous compliance with international quality standards, including pest-free certification. Quality control. Ensuring the grapes are of export quality requires consistency in production and quality control measures. Smallholder farmers may find it difficult to maintain such high standards without proper training and support. Opportunities for growth in domestic sales and export markets. Despite the challenges, there are numerous opportunities for expanding the domestic grape market and creating a viable export sector. Expanding domestic consumption. As Nigeria's population grows and urbanizes, there is a rising demand for fresh fruits. Grapes, which are considered a premium fruit, can find a strong market in urban centers like Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt. Marketing campaigns focused on health benefits, coupled with improved supply chains, can help increase domestic consumption. Diversification into value-added products. Farmers can explore the production of value-added grape products such as raisins, wine, jams, and juice. Developing grape-based industries will not only provide more employment opportunities but also reduce dependency on fresh grape sales, especially during off-seasons.
Export market development. Nigeria's proximity to the Middle East, Europe, and other African countries makes it a strategic location for exporting grapes. By adhering to international standards and investing in certification, Nigerian farmers could tap into international markets. The government can play a role by offering incentives, creating export hubs, and facilitating connections with foreign buyers. Adoption of technology and innovation. Farmers can benefit from modern agricultural technologies such as precision farming, which allows for better water and fertilizer management, reducing costs and improving productivity. Additionally, the use of drone technology for monitoring crop health and yield predictions could become commonplace. Conclusion. The grape industry in Nigeria holds great potential for contributing to the nation's agricultural growth, both in terms of domestic consumption and international trade. By adopting international best practices in grape cultivation, harvesting, and processing, and addressing challenges such as infrastructure gaps and market access, Nigerian farmers can build a sustainable and competitive grape sector. Government support, coupled with private sector investments, will be crucial in transforming Nigeria into a key player in the global grape market. If you would like to learn more or wish to discuss paid brand sponsorship of any of our agribusiness videos, please contact us on any of the social media handles below. Quote of the week. Great wine requires a madman to grow the vine, a wise man to watch over it, a lucid poet to make it, and a lover to drink it. Dolly.